What's good, everybody? It's the Storm Podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm. I'm here with
your boy E-Man. You know what it is.
What's good? And we are here to do a review of the new Morbius movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Just like we start every movie review off, let's give a rating 1 through 10.
I am going to give it a 6.5.
6.5. I'm going to give this shit a solid 4. This shit was abysmal. I had a terrible time watching it. I did not have any fun. It was garbage from start to finish. I could not stand this movie.
Yeah, it was... Overall, it was boring. It wasn't original.
This was my third time watching this movie. This is my third time watching it.
Yeah,
I saw The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I saw Venom. What the fuck do I need to watch this for?
Yeah, it was very, very unoriginal.
I'm incredibly tired of the trope of this is a villain and we're going to watch the villain story from their perspective and they get to play the hero, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
That's done. That's tired. I don't need to watch Venom. I don't need to watch Morbius. And I don't need to see that anymore. What would potentially be cool is maybe seeing the story from a villain story, but they are a villain in the villain story.
I'm kind of sick of them trying to make people that are clearly villains, have been villains, clearly comic book villains, like anti-heroes. Like,
not even really anti-heroes, like heroes, bro. Like, they basically were having Morbius play the hero. Yeah. They had Venom play the hero. I think Sony is just really bad at making movies.
And it's the fact that Marvel they do heroes. Like, that's what they do. Why would they not take the opportunity to take villains, which they do, and make them villains, do something original? We don't see that many movies from, like, villain standpoints. So why would you take a villain and turn him into an anti-hero?
Yeah.
You would make so much more profit if you just did the villain from the villain perspective.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie, it was just lame to me. I didn't really care for it. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really like any of the characters, really. Michael Morbius was okay. Like, he was the best one there. The villain, Lucian, or what did they keep calling him? Milo. Didn't care for him. The other girl, I didn't care for her.
How did you remember his real name?
Lucian?
They never called him Lucian. They called him Lucian once.
Oh. I don't know. I remembered it.
I'm like, everybody calls him Milo.
Yeah, but the entire movie, I was only thinking of him as Lucian. I don't know. I feel like that's disrespectful for you to tell a nigga your name. And
it was disrespectful.
Nah, fuck you, bro. You this nigga.
It was definitely mad disrespectful, but I'm like, everybody called him Milo. I totally forgot his name was Lucian.
Oh, to me, he was Lucian. They also didn't do a very good job of making it clear that that nigga was a king or a prince.
I believe he was a prince. I don't know exactly how that worked.
Yeah, I don't feel like they did a very good job of making that clear.
They didn't explain that, like, at
all. Okay, let's get into one of my biggest issues with this entire fucking movie. The powers made zero fucking sense.
That was the most annoying part about the movie for me.
That shit was terrible.
It didn't make any sense.
First off, okay, bro, like, you're a bat, I guess. Nigga got the shit injected into him, blah, 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 turned him into a vampire or whatever. What the fuck is this smoke stuff?
The smoke stuff was dumb. It didn't make any sense.
Like, what they were just, look, if you're going to explain his powers through science, you gotta at least try to be a little scientific.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make it what it was, they should have just said it was magic.
I feel like they were trying to just make the echolocation thing look cool, so, like, you can tell that he's using, like, the bat radar thing. But
that shit was dumb, bro. Like, the smoke every time he's jumping, blah, blah, blah.
It made everything so distorted. Like, I couldn't even
bro. Then his eyes was getting fuzzy. Yeah. Like, the nigga was flying.
I mean, the flying thing, it's a superpower. Like bats have it. I can
And I
fuck
get
with
that, but they should have just said his powers were magic, bro. Stop trying to say this shit got something to do with science. Shit don't have nothing to do with science.
Yeah, no, it wasn't scientific at all.
Like,
they definitely could have just. He could have had a different origin. Like the origin of his powers did not need to be from whatever that serum he injected.
That shit was whack. Not to mention the CGI was abysmal. Bro.
CGI was bad. Yeah.
Every time they did that little zoom slow down shit, bro, that shit looked like Injustice.
Yeah.
Nigga, that looked like a video game. It looked like Injustice 1, too. It didn't even look like Injustice 2.
Going off of the CGI thing, the makeup wasn't good either. I thought the makeup was really bad.
Oh, what? Of like when they were sick?
The white faces.
I didn't really have a problem with that.
I thought it was weird that they looked more sickly. Like it was.
What you mean?
They didn't explain. So they went from being sick.
Right. By the way, did they explain what their sickness was? It was some type of like...
It's like a bone disease. I forgot.
A bone disease? Or I
think that's what they said. I
thought it had to do with their blood or something like that. No, it did have to do with their blood. Vampires and all that shit. Blood, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
But I know. I just didn't know if they said like if it was a real disease in real life or not. Like what they had.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. All right.
But they went from being sick, and then he took the serum. He was in like his normal face and everything, and he was swole, buff as hell, lifting shit. And then he goes into his little vampire mode, and then he looks sick as fuck again.
Oh, you're saying like the vampire face?
Yeah.
I think they could have done a better job with the vampire face. It didn't really look cool to me.
It just looked weird.
The eyes were cool.
I didn't understand why they were making him seem like big, swole, and healthy when he still looks sick as hell.
Well, he's a vampire.
Then why are you making him look healthy? Just make him look like a vampire. Why he bust off his shirt like looking swole?
Yeah, his face just looked like a vampire. You know, vampires look creepy. I think they did a bad job with the face. I like the eyes. Like the eyes were kind of cool. How they were doing like the weird like eye design and all that. That was kind of cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
The rest of it, I didn't really get into it. I didn't like the smoke trail. Or the smoke trail looked cool. Like
it didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense.
It was
but it looked cool. Like when he was
pleasing.
flying and shit, that was kind of cool. But the rest of it, I don't know. Like, just like the CGI was not where it needed to be at all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like from the perspective of somebody who saw Venom and the CGI was actually pretty decent, this just could have been better. Like,
yeah, well, this movie got pushed back a lot. Like, I know the release date got pushed back like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out like January before.
Yeah, and then they just kept pushing it back.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because it don't feel like they added anything extra. Like, it don't feel like they was like, oh, shit, let's push it back to make it better. It felt like they were just like, yo, fuck this shit.
I'm like, it wasn't stellar. I feel like Sony could have made that movie on a normal Sony budget. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, no, and the plot just wasn't really enticing me. And I felt like the whole story moved very fast.
It was very badly paced, and it just the unoriginality of it was.
The pacing was crazy, bro. It went from him getting the bats to him injecting himself like super. You know, that happened very early in the movie, which makes sense. Then the other nigga like got his powers really fast. Like there was a lot of connections that were supposed to be there that I just didn't really feel, or we didn't really see, like the connection to what was that nigga's name? Nicholas? Some shit. The doctor who's taking care of them.
Yeah, I forgot his name. But yeah,
that nigga. What was the girl's name? Martine.
Dr. Martina,
Martina, something like that.
Yeah.
That connection was very forced, and that I didn't feel like the love interest. I don't think every superhero movie has to have a love interest and love scene and all that. I don't think it's necessary.
For a Marvel storyline, the MCU normally does a really good job of making you care about characters and like making you have a connection. all of these characters just seem super lackluster. I didn't care about Morbius. I didn't care about Milo.
I gave a fuck about Morbius a little bit, but Milo, I ain't really care about him. Their feud was like, I get it, but
I enjoy villains that have a real reason to be a villain. He just didn't. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, his logic for a lot of shit didn't make sense. Like, I think it was weird he was beefing so hard with Morbius. Like, when they were homies, I didn't feel like that was really the way to go about it. Obviously, Morbius was going to be mad at him, but, like, that nigga was trying to... He wasn't even trying to kill Morbius. He was just trying to fuck him up and, like, make him see his way, which that wasn't going to do it.
I mean, it worked.
Not really.
I mean... He became a villain. Like
Morbius?
Yeah.
Says who?
I mean, he well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but he defeated Milo.
But that doesn't make him a villain.
Seems pretty villainous
to me. If anything, defeating Milo makes him the hero of the story.
Okay, but he didn't really defeat him. He killed that nigga. Like,
yeah. He had to. That's the heroic thing to do. He's kill that monster.
He could have just cured him.
No, he couldn't. He didn't know how to.
I feel like he could have figured something
Nigga
out.
didn't have time.
I don't know, but like...
It took that nigga his entire life to figure out how to turn them niggas into vampires. And he fucked it up. It took him his entire life, and he did the shit wrong. You thought the nigga was gonna fix it in a week?
I feel like he could have figured something out. You supposed to be one of the greatest scientists making fake blood.
With no supplies. Nigga's supposed to cure it in a week he
had supplies.
In the fucking sewers?
He had a little bit of supplies. He got them off the people that asses he beat.
Yeah, they were making counterfeit money.
Counterfeit money and fake blood? They got some...
So nigga's supposed to... He spent his entire life trying to figure out how to do it. Did it wrong, and then in a week... in the fucking basement, in a fake ass lab, with no help. Well, I guess Martina was helping, but like she was playing with cats. That was supposed to happen? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
I feel like he could have made it work.
And then the detectives, they were kind of like throwaway characters. We didn't even see them that much, like after the first couple minutes.
That whole scene with the chase scene where he was inside of the
hospital.
Not the hospital, the jail.
Oh, the jail, okay.
And then he ran up to the roof. The black cop dude was nowhere to be found.
Where was he supposed to be?
He was chasing him. And then Morbius was about to...
No, that was in the hospital.
That was in the hospital?
That was in the hospital.
Okay, well, either way, when they were on the roof, black dude, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Tyrese.
Then he turns around, and Buddy's just there. Where did he come from?
The stairs.
He ran up to the roof?
Yeah.
How he get on the roof?
That's Tyrese, bro. That's the powers of Tyrese.
I was like, he just appeared on the roof.
Nah, that nigga Tyrese cold with it.
This man is a bat.
You ain't never watched Fast and Furious?
With light speed.
He Fast and Furious.
That didn't make no sense.
He Fast and Furious.
Come on now. He just appeared on the roof.
I ain't had no problem with that. It was just so... I just didn't care, bro. Like, this movie was just so ass.
Yeah, there was none of the stuff that I was like looking for, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my fault. I was looking for stuff that Marvel cinematic things give me, like connections to characters, like unexpected.
Just as a movie in general, like I just didn't like when that nigga, I believe his name was Nicholas, the doctor that was taking care of them. When that nigga died, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, like I didn't care.
When Martina died, I didn't really feel anything. Even when Lucian died, I didn't feel anything, or Milo, whatever you want to call that nigga.
Yeah.
I just didn't care about any of that. Like I was just like, okay. And then didn't that nigga say he was gonna kill himself?
Who?
Morbius.
Well, yeah, he said he was gonna.
She was like, "Yo,
the serum.
Why you make
also.
two?" He was like, "Yo, my time's almost up."
That's another reason why I believe that he's just like evil now, because he didn't kill himself. Like he knows that he has a deadly virus, not virus, but
yeah, he got to drink blood. But there's ways to drink blood without killing people. The nigga had a whole fucking case of blood in his lab.
Yeah, but that's gonna run out.
Yeah.
The fake blood only
People
lasts
die-
like
not-
4 hours
Not
now.
the fake blood, the real blood.
I know. So he can't really use fake blood. The real blood is gonna run out.
Yeah, niggas die every day.
And they're just gonna start giving all the extra blood to him.
Nah, he just steal it. Not to mention, just like Venom, Venom has to eat people, but he eats bad guys.
But he's also an anti-hero. I also feel like Morbius is just gonna get to killing bad guys. Like,
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think the game plan is.
yeah, it feels evil. Like
This was
eating
just
people. Like,
it's just a terrible movie. I wouldn't recommend go see it. The theater was empty as shit. I think it was
yeah,
what,
it
like
was surprisingly.
it was like
dead.
5 people in that bitch
For an
and
opening
we were
night
3 of
movie.
them.
Yeah, I definitely thought there was gonna be more people. There was nobody there.
Yeah, because the movie looked bad. Like I told you that walking in,
Yeah,
and you were like, "Nah, this
thought it
shit
was gonna be
this shit
decent.
gonna hit." No, bro.
Nah.
That shit was not it, bro. And then the end with the whole Spider-Verse shit, like they're making the Sony verse, and I just don't give a fuck. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. Not every superhero franchise has to have a multiverse, has to be connecting movies. I think it is very possible in today's day and age to have solo superhero movies. You don't have to connect everything.
I feel like with things like Morbius and Venom, they should be connected to Spider-Man.
They don't have to. I think you could just make the one-off movies and let it rock, bro. Like
Nope.
Marvel made the whole shit where all the movies connect. They were the first niggas to do that. Cool. It's dope. Like that's dope. But no one else, like it doesn't make sense for everybody to keep trying to copy that formula.
But like Venom, I can kind of understand. He has, even comic book wise, he has some solo stuff. Morbius, like, what the heck are you gonna do with him without Spider-Man?
Nothing. This is it. Give that nigga one movie and let it rock.
Yeah.
That's how movies used to be before Marvel introduced this, new idea, and it's awesome. Like what Marvel is doing is cool. It's iconic, but not everybody needs to copy it. DC doesn't need to copy it. Sony doesn't need to copy it. It's perfectly fine to just leave superheroes in their own microcosm of movies like they used to before. The X-Men had their X-Men series, boom, that's how it was before. The Fantastic Four had their Fantastic Four movies, boom, that's how it was. Batman had his shit. Like, not everything was connecting. I think it is extremely difficult, and
if you do it wrong, it just fucks everything up.
It's just not it. Like, we don't need it. I think Sony should take the characters they have and just let them be. I think that fucking Vulture can be his own shit. Morbius can be his own shit. Let them get their one-off whatever and just let it rock. And I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really make sense for a movie that didn't do well. I feel like there'd be no reason for Morbius to get more.
No, this movie's going to be a flop in the box offices.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the theaters. Like, it's not.
Yeah, this shit.
Nobody's really going to see it.
This shit going to be a super flop. Do you have anything else to say about this god awful movie?
Sony, man, fix y'all shit. Like, what y'all doing right now? What y'all doing?
I just genuinely felt like this shit was this shit was just ass. It was just ass, hot ass.
Yeah. It's just,
I got nothing good to say about this movie.
Oh, it had the fights were alright.
No, they weren't.
No,
I didn't
not
even
really.
enjoy the fights. Like, it was literally just them flying at each other and then doing
they didn't
random slow mo shit.
Yeah, they didn't really hit each other either.
Yeah, nah, that shit was dead. Niggas started controlling bats. That didn't make no goddamn
Bats
sense.
didn't make no sense.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. Let us know what y'all think in the comments, and let us know what movies y'all want to see us review next. So,
well, I'll give them this. That's not really a compliment to Sony. I feel like he was a better Morbius than he was a Joker.
yeah, Jared Leto, I don't know, man. Like,
He wasn't a good Morbius, but
but he was. Morbius wasn't his fault. Like, that
That's
was
true.
the writing and everything. His acting was good.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it did a really good job acting. It was the script and the directing that was the issue with this movie. I think Jared Leto did a good job portraying Morbius, and the entire time he was acting, he was humorous, witty, but also kind of dead. Like, I think he did a really good job of acting. But the issue in this movie weren't the acting. The issues in this movie was
The writing.
and the directing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say the issue is. Jared Leto did a good job. As Joker, he did a terrible job.
That was bad. Yeah.
But as Morbius, I think he did a good job.
But that was also just bad casting. Like, what did they think Jared Leto was going to do as Joker? But I'm not finna get into that.
Yeah.
But
thank y'all for watching the review. Let us know what y'all want to see us review next time, and let us know what you guys thought about this movie. And we will catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.